can. So there's a boat that ship, that's the correct word, isn't it? I think they fall, the Navy just blanches and falls dead in the face. It's a nice boat. Oh, don't say boat! It's a ship, so it's a cruise ship that goes from the southern point of South America. There's a name for it. Anybody remember the name? Anybody knows about canning knows that if the tin is expanding, the stuff inside is not good. You poison yourself, except because it's fermenting. But the fish is already fermented. It's in the can. And they said, all right, you guys got to open the can, and somebody's got to eat the fish. So there's 4 of us, right? So the 4 of us, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's like 4 or 5 cameras all pointing at us. One of the cameras taking a close-up of me. The frame line somehow took in the camera of this camera here. So there's one camera, this camera here, and this camera here. So we struggle and open the can, which bursts open, and the most foul-smelling. I did a cop show called T.J. Hooker. So I became long in the past. We applaud, what's the movie, the Masters of the Universe. You applaud. The stuff in the back, it's all gone. So we open the can bursts open, and as playing a cop, I've gotten to know really experienced policemen. They would describe how a dead body smelled after being 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in the open. The stench is, they have to hold a handkerchief. They say you'd want to faint, it smells so bad. Couldn't have smelled any worse than this fish. Because this camera, which is catching, the frame of that camera is catching the cameraman taking this one. And that cameraman turns around and, what do you call it? Vomits, expels. Projectile vomit. So he turns, the cameraman's like, go ahead, and he smells it, he goes, "Wah!" He projectile vomits. That's how bad it was.
I just got the chance to work with Dylan O'Brien on a project that I haven't got yet, and I think he's probably one of my favorite people in the world.
Really?
I think that he's one of the funniest, talented actors, but one of the funniest people, ever. Hayden Christensen is here. And it's all I've been talking about for 2 weeks now. And it's all I've been talking about all day and all yesterday and probably all tomorrow. I'm like, oh my god, you guys! I watched his movie Awake on the plane flight over here. And then I was rewatching the Star Wars movies and I was really excited.
Are you gonna get a photo op with Hayden?
Yes. I'm definitely gonna speak over. I'm really excited. I really like roller skating. I love street skating. I go to the skate park a lot, and I like learning tricks. I really like embroidering.
You can do tricks roller skating?
Yeah. I have little grinding blocks in between my skates. I go and do tricks. It's fun. Yeah, I drop in the bowls and do all the things. I can say that I like to find myself in all of my characters, but then I remember the times that I've played murderers, and I'm like, maybe I should chill on that. But I do like to find bits and pieces of myself in all of my characters. I have been really lucky so far to play the characters I've had. I really do love especially Phoebe. I love Phoebe so much. But I really am honored to have played the characters that I have. I'm just happy to work. I love what I do so much, so whenever I get a role, I'm so happy to do it. But there are so many roles, like Phoebe, you know, that I felt so passionate about that I really wanted to fight for. And I'm the type of person, that's like my main advice to somebody who wants to get into acting, is that like there's so many no's and stuff, so it's just not getting discouraged like that. I'm the type of person that whenever I'm passionate about something, I don't take no for an answer, and I constantly am going for it. It was the same with this. I've done quite a few roles where I play geniuses. I don't know, I always like to try and find myself in my roles, but I do have to do a lot of learning to play those roles, because sometimes I'm just saying things and I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying right now. I don't know what this means. I want somebody to explain it to me, that way I actually know what I'm saying. But yeah, I tend to learn a lot of the equations I have to recite by turning them into songs. That's how I memorized a lot whenever I was younger. Hill House, I'm like, what all happened on Hill House? We were there in Atlanta for 8 months. I think I was 11 or 12. You know what my favorite story from Hill House is that the episode 6, I think it was, that it's shot, like it's all one take. Was that episode 6? Episode 6 was a crazy episode, is all I know. But one of the episodes we shot like it was all one take, and we had like 3 weeks, 3 weeks of rehearsing that because it was like a play, and there was only 4 cuts in the entire episode, so we'd shoot, each take would be like 20 minutes long. One person messes up, and everybody's like, no, God! And you're shooting with like 5 kids. So you're gonna end up messing up a lot. So we did that so many times, but doing that was really fun because all the kids would be downstairs, and they'd have the cameraman, and he'd like be taken up the stairs, and all of us would be waiting downstairs trying to be really quiet, hearing the scene going on upstairs, and windows are exploding, and then we all run back out whenever it's our turn. So it was really fun. I think that was a really fun one. I fall a lot. You know, even on Frozen Empire, I fell so hard with the pack on. I like slipped and fell over, and whenever you have the pack, I did that so many times on Afterlife and Frozen Empire, falling over with the pack on. It's so terrible because it's like 30, 40 pounds, and so you're like a turtle, you can't get up. Like, it's so bad. I'm just like on my back, and I'm like, hey, can somebody help me? I didn't mean to do that. So I gotta like wait for somebody to come and pick me up. So that's always a little embarrassing. God, I'm sure that I have something so much better. I embarrass myself constantly. But that's what I can think of right now.
Please join me in welcoming Ming Na Wen, Tamora Morrison, and Daniel Logan.
And you were only 6 when I met you.
I looked like I was 6, I was 13.
Oh. This guy used to talk so much on episode 2, Attack of the Clones. He wouldn't stop talking. He swear he had birdseed for breakfast, man.
He was curious. He was very curious.
Yeah, no, we spent a lot of time in our spaceship.
Yeah.
And he's going, what are we doing here, Dad? What are we doing here, Dad?
What do you do on your spaceship again?
I just said, look, let's just look cool, son. I'm Clint Eastwood, and you're young Clint Eastwood, okay?
My goodness, Carl, wow. What a leader. a generous mentor to so many, including myself, an instant friend. And, you know, it just warms my heart so much that when I got off that plane, after I found out when I was up on the plane that he had passed, and, you know, you just realize, like, wow, he was so loved by so many, and every comment that I read online is true because that's who he was.
It was light, easy to wear. I even had a fan inside my helmet, leather. It was like a Ferrari helmet, really. I said, I even got a fan on. I could turn the fan on and keep cool under there.
And then I asked, why don't I have a fan?
Yeah, and it was just well balanced and everything. It was so cool. And I remember that moment when I had the armor on for the first time. And I walked in and there was Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau looking. And I was all decked out in this new armor. And there was just a nod between Dave and Jon Favreau and the Disney representatives. Time up in that Simi Valley, you know, when you and the Mando were up against it, very much in deep trouble. And then that, he turned up. Who rang me? Did you guys call? What a kick-ass action entry that was. Yeah!
But for me, you know, it was really cool to be 13 years old and be on set of a Star Wars film. They showed me this picture of me being Boba Fett in this beautiful armor. So I was super excited to be able to come and dress as this character that they showed me in the book. And then they gave me a blue jumpsuit, and then in walks Jango Fett with this beautiful armor on. And I'm like, what the happened here? Where's my other parts? So it was just wonderful. I think Min could say the same thing. Working with Tim, he just enlightens your life and your experience on film. He makes you relaxed. I gotta give most of the credit to Tim for helping me to bring Boba Fett to life. He told me to call him Dad, which I didn't have one, so I didn't know what that was like. But I call him Dad, he calls me son, and he's truly been like that since.
We had these, they were made of some sort of alloy, they were metal.
For sure.
And they would bend after every single take. And when Hayden and I were fighting each other, often didn't make it through the take, because we just went at each other so hard. And that they've changed now, so now they have actual swords that light up, which is what gave us those amazing lighting changes in that end scene in the series. By chance, as we were rehearsing the scene, you know, we had our swords here, and his face was we were blue. Someone get that phone, will you? And then as we moved over here, our faces turned red, and it was just like magic, you know. We were like, oh my god. So we, but they don't fight as well as the old ones do. They have a tendency to sort of go, sort of like, it just isn't quite as satisfying as when they used to go, whack! But we would always catch each other's fingers, because they don't have, George, in his wisdom, decided not to give them a hilt. Most sword designers in the world, you know, throughout history, have put a hilt there so that you don't get your knuckles wrapped.
Beauty and the Beast, the live action. So Ash, you just what is that like for you? Like, what was the transition as an actor into a musical movie or a movie with songs and music?
I've always sung. I've always been musical. Through school, I was only interested in. Exactly. I was only interested in anything that felt like perform. I always knew I wanted to be an actor, and so I found it difficult to be interested in academics. I should have been, but I wasn't. And so music was a way for me through school to sort of perform, I suppose. So I sang, and it was really from a young age, and I was a soloist in the choir. Christmas carols and stuff. I did once in Royal David City when I was like 6 in a church like that. I was like, once in Royal. It was terrifying. I still remember the fear. And so that, and then I was a side drummer in the pipe band. I was a French horn player. Just anything that allowed me to sort of do music. So to then do the musicals was like taking that on, you know.
Where would you rather live, Cloud City or Naboo? Cloud City.
Well, I think Cloud City is probably going to be more interesting.
I think it's cool. See how the audience guess. Yep, there we go. Cloud City wins 74. Naboo won. I'm sorry. Naboo won. Who would you rather train under, Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi? We'll move on to number 3. All right, number 3.
Kenobi.
Do you want to see how the audience voted? Yeah.
Well, I should say Yoda to be polite.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Because otherwise it would just be me in a room on my own.
That's true. It's a good point. Who would you rather invite to your birthday party, C-3PO or R2-D2? This is your birthday party.
C-3PO, because he's much more fun.
Yeah.
It's just more fun to watch, like, trying to get around. And there's always someone at your birthday party that's a bit drunk and falling over all the time. That would totally be him.
Yeah. What would you rather fly, an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter?
Well, an X-Wing.
Yeah.
It's a far superior aircraft.
Yeah. Would you rather be skilled with a lightsaber or skilled with the Force, so you lose one ability?
That's not a choice. That's the same thing.
That's the correct answer! That's the correct answer. That's my fault. Would you rather kiss a Wookiee or kiss a Gungan?
I think as a Jedi, you're sort of, you're not meant to kiss anyone.
That's also the correct answer. Yeah, very good. Who has the better hair, Obi-Wan or Anakin?
Oh, well, it depends what episode you're talking about. I think we all know in episode 2, it's a pretty tasty hair. What?
Yeah, would you rather join the rebellion or join the Empire? It was you.
If it was me?
Yeah.
Well, again, I'd have the rebellion, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I were backstage earlier talking about just how nice this event has been and how much we've enjoyed getting to meet so many of you. So this has been really great. Thank you.
Thanks so much for coming out. We're so excited to have you here. I want to say, just because he brought it up, he was very jealous of your bomber jacket that you have on here.
Yeah? I just got this sent to me not long ago, so I thought this would be a good place to sport it. I think it was the one in California, though, at Disneyland.
For sure.
I don't know that I've been to the one here yet.
It's similar. It's pretty much a replica, just different. Yeah.
I would imagine they're similar. Yes. But yeah, I did the Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, they do such a great job with it. I always thought it would be such a cool job to be a Disney Imagineer. You know, the people that design the parks and the rides. I think they do such amazing work.
What is it like getting that double reaction from fans? So this another wave of fan reactions to your appearance in Ahsoka.
I can't tell you just how amazing the whole experience has been for me. You know, coming back on Obi-Wan was incredible. Getting to you know, swing a lightsaber with Ewan again was just a thrill. And then getting the phone call after we wrapped Obi-Wan, I wasn't aware of any other, you know, projects that I would be involved with. And
sure.
After we wrapped, I got a phone call from Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I was just so excited again. You know, any chance I get to put on those Jedi robes, I'll take it.
After post.
Again, I take no credit because all I did is I showed up, I walked. That was all that was required from me. And the way that, you know, they shot that and they cut it together.
Sure.
And I just thought that the whole episode came out, you know, better than I could have hoped. I've been watching a lot of Clone Wars, so I think maybe through some process of osmosis, it kind of made its way in. No, it's a period in Anakin's life that I was aware of. I thought was very interesting, and obviously they explored it a lot in the Clone Wars, in the animated show that they did. But the opportunity to get to do that in live action was so compelling. And I wanted to bring it to life in the most sort of exciting way possible and follow Dave's lead. And when we were doing Obi-Wan, we did the flashback sequence, and that was kind of like old hat. Like we'd done that before, and so that was just good fun. Going and doing the scene as Vader, that was new territory.
Right, exactly.
And then the same is true of Ahsoka. You know, playing the sort of wise mentor was a version we'd never sort of seen before.
Yeah.
And getting to do that, and then sort of, you know, try to bring to life the Clone Wars Anakin. It's a balancing act, you know. And so even though I know the character, we're still sort of taking him in new directions, and you just hope that it resonates in a way with you guys as it did with me when I read the script.
Fans writing their interpretations on things, memes, you know, like social media, yeah, people are like, you know, all of that. Do you follow that? Do you follow along? Is there anything that like you stuck out to you, or you just keep that over there somewhere?
I don't exactly follow it because I'm not on social media.
Right.
But I I have a friend of mine who thinks it's his job to send me all of the Star Wars memes, and so I'm aware of a lot of them. And they make me laugh. I enjoy them.
Anyone stick out to you as kind of like?
There's a few. Off the top of my head, there's one that I quite like. In the scene where you have Sidious and Mace Windu,
Yep.
and Anakin's there, and he's having to choose, you know, and Palpatine is shooting Force lightning at Mace Windu. And Mace Windu is blocking it, deflecting it back, and Sidious is saying, "Help me," and Anakin says, "Just stop shooting Force lightning at," just blocking it back at you.
You're an avid farmer, or you were an avid farmer, you have a ranch. You love mowing and snow blowing, and you enjoy making lakes.
I do.
Yeah.
Ponds. I can't.
Ponds,
Lakes.
I'm so
Lakes are.
sorry.
That's maybe one day I'll graduate to lakes, but right now I'm still on ponds.
Talk to us a little bit on, for this crowd that hasn't heard. Yeah, what are your fun hobbies or activities that
I just
center yourself?
I just enjoy the sort of country life, and I like big equipment, and I've got a few toys at my farm. And snowblowing is definitely one of my favorite activities. I've got this Bobcat, which is like a skid steer machine, and it has all these different attachments, and one of them is, yeah, there we go, Bobcat fan. Bobcats are the best. And there's a snowblower attachment, and I've got, a nice long driveway, and when you get a really heavy snow, I mean, the thing will shoot snow like 20, 30 feet in the air, and it's just very satisfying.
Talk about your daughter's relationship with Star Wars. Has she seen Star Wars yet, and how has that been?
She still hasn't seen it. So I was dragging my feet for a while, kind of, wanting to hold off. But now she's 9 years old, and I feel like she's at an appropriate age where I could share it with her. And there have been a few times where I've actually offered it up, and I've said, sweetheart, would you like to, watch Star Wars? And we're sitting down to watch something, and there's always something else that she's more interested in. So we're watching a lot of this show called Liv and Maddie right now. So now we bring up Star Wars. She's like, let's watch Liv and Maddie, please. And I asked my agent at the time, are there any other roles, smaller roles that they're casting right now that I could be in consideration for? And there was not. And so I threw my name in the hat for Anakin, and it was a very long auditioning process. It went on for a few months, and I don't know, all throughout that process, I never in a million years thought that I was going to get the role.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped me, because I was just able to enjoy it a little bit more, and I remember going to meet George Lucas for the first time at the Skywalker Ranch, and I was just so excited to get to be there. With no concept of maybe getting this role, but just hopefully that I would get like a souvenir or like a free mug or something.
Just grab something and put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you do specifically to kind of keep yourself in that good place, that positive place, that you can share with fans?
Snow blowing.
Yeah.
I snow blow in the wintertime, and I sit on my ride-on lawnmower in the summertime. Definitely helps. Yeah, I mean they're very elaborate, choreographed fights, and they take a long time to learn, because neither you and I are actually trained swordsmen. We're just actors. So, but we took it very seriously, and we spent months training. When we were doing the prequels, we'd go out to Australia a couple of months before and work with Nick Gillard.
Yeah. Shout out to that.
Shout out to Nick Gillard, the fight choreographer from the prequels, who just did amazing work. And that was a part of that process that I think I probably enjoyed the most. Just getting to go to work, and you're going to like Jedi training camp.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And it was just a thrill. If we did a fight scene and then one of our sabers was like all crooked, we'd go show it to the other one and we'd be like, "Hey, look what you did this time."
Yeah. Can you reveal whose lightsaber was more crooked and more? Yeah.
It was a point of pride, but we traded back and forth. That fight on Mustafar, we spent a lot of time training for that. It was something that we knew was coming. We knew there was going to be this big showdown between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Sure.
And we wanted to make it as epic as possible.
Live in Cloud City or live in Naboo?
Ooh, well, I've been to Naboo.
Yeah.
Naboo's quite nice. I would go back to Naboo.
Naboo. Would you rather train under Yoda or train under Obi-Wan? Yeah.
Obviously Obi-Wan.
So who's going to be the most fun at your birthday party?
I mean, I feel bad for, Anthony Daniels is a real, he's in the suit.
Yeah.
So I feel like I need to pick C-3PO.
C-3PO, very nice.
But R2's my guy, right? So.
Would you rather fly an X-Wing or a TIE fighter? You can only choose one.
Yeah, TIE fighter.
TIE fighter. Would you rather be skilled with a lightsaber or skilled with the Force?
Definitely skilled with the Force.
Yeah. Would you rather kiss a Wookiee or kiss a Gungan?
I gotta choose.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do it, you may as well just go for it, and I'm gonna go for yeah. I don't know. See, Jar Jar had that tongue that was like. I'm gonna go with Wookiee.
Who wore their hair better, Obi-Wan or Anakin?
Well, which film are we talking about? I think it really depends on the movie.
Yeah.
We're choosing between
What you're gonna
Anakin's,
choose for, yeah.
Anakin's Padawan braid and Obi-Wan's look from
mullet.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he wore that mullet really well.
Yeah.
But the Padawan braid I really liked too. I thought that was I was a fan of that.
Super cute. Yeah. But I think the ultimate.
Yeah,
winner,
we'll go with the mullet with Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan mullet, but okay, then with one more. Obi-Wan mullet versus Revenge of the Sith, rock hair.
Luscious locks.
Luscious locks, yeah.
I'll go with
It's the luscious locks.
Luscious locks.
MegaCon 2024, this was your Jedi Summer feature.